Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to Weekly Insider, Road to Edoverse, chapter 103. So I would like to welcome Tokugawa-san,
Yes.
please.
Okay. Thank you, Mitsushi-san. Hello, everybody. This is Hiro Tokugawa. So, for today and the next 2 weeks, I would like to talk about how in Tokugawa, Japan, one became a samurai. So, you see, it's very easy. It was very easy during the Sengoku Jidai, the era of warring states, as anyone who could fight could become a samurai theoretically if he survived a couple of battlegrounds. No education was needed, but you have to be smart. And the prime example would be Toyotomi Hideyoshi. But many other warlords, who ended up daimyo, were like that. Uh, and then they did receive minimal training at the beginning. If you were born a peasant or just a plain farm, a part of the farming population, you enter the battlefield. The best you could hope for usually would be to pick up swords or armor from dead soldiers. Uh, it's a bit like the opening of Les Misères by Victor Hugo. But after that, as the Tokugawa regime was solidified, it became more stagnant. It became practically impossible for a commoner to become a samurai, and then, more importantly, that many samurai became unemployed. So that is the very famous Ronin population. But they disappeared by in about 80 years from the beginning of the Tokugawa era, in around the Genroku period. So in the 1850s, the Ronin problem had more or less been settled. They learned to live within a new urbanized environment. And then, by then, the road to become a samurai was very clear. It was to be born a son of a samurai. And then the interesting part is that now, then, how did a samurai receive samurai boy, and to a lesser extent, the a daughter of a samurai, receive his or her education? Is You see, because the terakoya were for commoners, and then yeah, and also the samurai were all of the samurai were a part of this military unit, be it the bakufu or serving the daimyo. So there's a limit to the children mixing with commoners' children. So what was their education like? And there were no formal schools until the late Tokugawa period. So until about 1750, there were very few schools run either by the shogun or by the daimyo. So they were mostly home taught, or there probably were private cramming schools, juku, or private schools in each dominion or in the city of Edo or whichever of the cities run directly by the shogun. So, but home family education, especially by the father, seems to have been very important because the son will take over the father's work in most cases. Interestingly, most of the samurai who presided on the court and also were the notaries and secretaries for the legal court, their training was to join the legal office or the office of the bugyo at a very young age, and they sit in all the courts, all the trials. So they listen to the judgment passed over by the bugyo or some high-ranking samurai, and then that was their training. So a bit like the barrister system in Britain, I believe. Uh, so mostly it was on-the-job training, and much of the work had been taught by the fathers to the sons. And about women's education, this was down from mothers first, and would find a sensei here and there, and would learn how to write and how to compose poetry and so on and so forth. Many tiny schools, but no systemic schools. As you see, a school in the modern sense would function only when there's a prevailing sense of people being equal. But the sense of equality, that was something missing in not only in Tokugawa Japan, but traditional Japan as far as the record goes. So it was mostly in private small classes that everyone got their education. And in the case of the samurai boys, the fathers were very important. And in most cases, they would take over the father's office if the father is fortunate enough to have an office, especially the hatamoto, the samurai directly serving the shogun. Many of them were receiving stipends, but they could not find an office to be employed in. So in that case, the parents would have to invest a lot for their children's education, for their son's education. And then they keep looking for work and would be employed. But they remained samurai. But the shogun samurais were receiving stipends, so they're always samurai. And for most daimyo, it was the same. It's just that if you're a low-ranking samurai, you could not survive economically. Okay, so whether it was a privilege to be born into a samurai family depended on how high your father's or your family's stipend was. Okay, but the easiest and the most obvious way to become a samurai was to be born a samurai boy. Okay, and so this is the first part of how to become a samurai. Okay, thank you very much, and the rest is for the 2 remaining weeks.
Thank you, Tokugawa-san. Next, I'd like to welcome Martin.
Hello. Well, it sounds like those earlier years of the samurai were more dynamic, more social mobility. But yes, of course, another fascinating part of the story. So yes, looking forward to the upcoming episodes on that. Couple of things from the news that drew my attention. I'm quite excited about the Reddit IPO. I don't know if you guys use Reddit at all, but I do find it to be quite a useful source of information often. And yes, IPO coming up. So that will be a bellwether event for the markets, I think. It's not yet profitable, but has a huge turnover. So we will see. That's exciting stuff. And then also something that we should check out is that the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia has launched a heritage metaverse where you can go and learn about the cultural heritage of the Saudi kingdom. And doesn't look quite as good as the Edoverse, I must say, but I had a quick look on Arab News. It's actually a former client of mine. We did the launch of their Japanese version in Japan. But yes, there on Saudi News is an article showing what they're trying to do with their Edoverse. And as it has a kind of cultural and history or historical focus, I think it's something that would be a good reference point for us. It's not as fun. It's very educational, let's say, but still, the execution should give us some ideas, maybe. So that's something for the fans and the team here to check out. And that's it from me this week.
Thank you, Martin. Next, I'd like to welcome Saraka.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi. Okay, from my side that I actually doing the Edoverse Instagram, we did this campaign of the airdrop about the harvest of the zeni. And I would like to say that we start preparing everything for this month and the coming month too. So stay tuned still. And also, I want to say that we post in our social media, Edoverse Underwear Project, a way to get inside Edoverse. So if you guys, you still don't know how to access in Edoverse, you can check our Instagram at Edoverse Project, and you can check how to get for the first time inside of Edoverse. That's my side.
All right, thank you very much. Finally, this is Mitsushi. We'd like to share several updates with regards to cryptocurrency, crypto assets industry as a whole. On the first level, the Bitcoin achieved the highest price, the all-time high price. So that means a lot of people, including non-crypto investors, are paying more attention to the NFT, Bitcoin, crypto assets, blockchain in general. I think that's a very great trend. On the second level about Metaverse, I saw the news that a taxi company in Wakayama created Wakayama in Metaverse in Fortnite. So I saw several pictures of that. That was very interesting. The Wakayama Castle was built within Fortnite Metaverse space, and the taxi company wanted to deliver the attractiveness of Wakayama to people all across the world. So I think this is very important movement. A lot of people are trying to leverage metaverse technologies to appeal a wide range of audience and deliver a lot of messages. I think with Edoverse we can challenge a similar kind of concept. That's what I thought by looking at that news. Those are all updates from me. So that's all for today. Thank you very much, everyone. See you next week. Bye bye.